Namaste. Today we are going to continue our work with the Eightfold Path. In my first video we talked about the view, so we'll do a little run through with that. The view is also known as clear view or clear seeing. And it has to do with the way you really are, your natural state. When you're seeing from that place of clarity, then you're also able to conduct your life in that way, which brings us to the next view, and that's right action. So right action obviously is coming from that place in consciousness, behaving, acting, doing everything from that place in consciousness. So right action is like is like the philosopher's stone to consciousness itself. Within it, there is this movement, this velocity of energy that's moving in a pattern that goes out and creates. So from that place of creation and how you are moving through time and space, that determines what life is going to produce. So when you come from that place of right action, everything moves in its natural position consistently. So, and there's some keys to a lot of this, but consistency in right action. So, when your actions reflect your awareness and what you're aware of, things tend to line up in a perfect pattern. There's this mathematical equation that you could say. There's this movement in the energy, and it's patterned according to the magnetic field of the life that you're living. And when you're creating from that place, when you're acting from that place, things tend to start to work according to that. Now, you don't have control over what everyone else is doing, but you have this movement of energy that needs no control. Right action is felt when you're in the presence of it. Like when you're in the presence of someone who is a great master, who can, who has a great transmission, or when people come to you and they feel this energy, they feel the spark that's going on. That is right action, because it is unified with itself. So you're not going from a place of destructive thought process into a destructive action process when you're in right action. And right action can only happen with the right clear seeing, with right view. And we're not talking about rules, we're talking about the very essence of these things. So how do you get to those places? Well, right action can start anywhere you want it to start. Start to do things that you know are helpful for yourself and others. Start acting from a place of love rather than a place of want. Knowing that your needs are secondary to what is happening, what needs to happen. So when you put these obstacles in your way and make them more important, what happens is your actions reflect that, and then in turn recreate it. So if your actions are about worry and concern, you're getting more worry and concern. If you're treating people with respect, you're going to get respect. Whether or not they respect you or not, because you're not expecting it to come from outside of you, but from inside of you. And when your view is only that of right action, then only right action will start to occur. When you first start out, that takes a little while. And we're not talking about perfection. We're not talking about what's out here. We're talking about what's here. So right action is to act according to your wholeness. What is whole? And when you examine your right actions, when you examine it, you begin to notice where you're faulting, where you're mistaken. Right action also does not incur any karmic conditioning. So if you're noticing something that you've mistaken or that you've done, instead of feeling bad and piling more guilt on yourself, on your psyche, you release that and stop battling with who you really are. So you begin to release the patterns of self-defeat and self-hatred by your right actions. Now we can go into life. Pay attention to how you treat people. Everything you do, everything you think, everything you put out is an action. So whatever you're thinking, whatever you're doing in your work, at home, with your children, with your animals, with your belongings, with anybody else's belongings, anything, those are all your actions. So pay attention to those actions and allow that clear view to begin to show you how to change it. In the next series, we'll talk about the next one. I'm not sure which one it'll be, but it'll be one of the Eightfold Path. And if you have any questions about right action, let me know, and we'll talk. I will answer your questions. Namaste, that's it for today. Please meditate and take a time out to do something good for someone else and be at peace within yourself. Meditate always.